That boy Shea Alexander has officially won his second consecutive NBA MVP award for the 2026 regular season. And essentially it was a landslide. So it's going to make him the 14th player in league history to claim back-to-back MVPs. At only 27 years old, he received 83 of the 100 votes, easily beating out, like I said, finalists in Nikola Jokic and Wemby. I honestly thought with the way the media was pushing the MVP narrative. It seemed like it was a two-man race between Wemby and between Shea. So I was a little shocked somewhat to see him get third place. But either way, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shea. Like I said, 64-18 for the regular season. You had your second best player out pretty much all of the season, and you had your rotational pieces in and out the lineup. So to go win those amount of games, finish with 31, 6.6 assists, 4.3 rebounds. And from a historic standpoint, from a guard standpoint, shot 55.3% from the floor, and 38.6% from the three-point range and 88% from the free throw line. And like I say, he's the only guard in NBA history to average 30 points, shooting 55% or better from the field as well, too. What are your thoughts on, that man, Shea Alexander, joined a highly exclusive group of legends?
Um, I mean, it's dope. I think, he did a really good job in continuing to lead this team through all the things that they dealt with this season. He also missed a little bit of time himself, so can just continuing to be the steadying force for them during the regular season. Um, and again, yeah, just doing things that no one's ever done before, whether it's his streak of 20-point games in the regular season or whether it's the field goal percentage along with the amount of points per game. But he's really just, the engine that makes this team go for the most part. Um, he's their Cade, the exact same way if you watch that series. So yeah, I mean, it's team was spectacular. It's one of those things where I've been watching the NBA long enough now where it feels like, if we get in a period where there's a dominant team and the star player of that dominant team is having a really good season, it just feels like it's inevitable. Same way it felt with LeBron when he was on the Heat, Steph, with the peak Warriors, even Jokic with these Nuggets and Giannis, like the momentum just kind of carries over from whatever they did the year before. So yeah, really, really dope to see and well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think after this, back to back, I know, you basically said dominant team plus, their best player kind of going off with the numbers. Do you see a situation where voters get that voter fatigue and this probably his last MVP?
Um, I don't know if I'm gonna say it'll be his last. I think that depends on what he does down the line, but I don't think he's gonna win three in a row. Especially if Wemby manages to beat him this year in the playoffs. But even if he doesn't, I think that this year's playoffs is Wemby's coming out party, and he's gonna the same way that every year when Luka was doing what he was doing in the playoffs, we would come into the next season and he would already be really high up on the preseason MVP rankings. I think that's what's going to happen next year for Wemby, but he's going to actually be able to carry that momentum towards the end of the season. Especially he finished third this year, so as long as he doesn't have a letdown season, if the Spurs as a whole don't have a letdown season, I think that they're going to be gunning to give it to him next year.